Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the Chinese Exclusion Act or 1882, a pivotal moment in American history that tells us a lot about discrimination and the struggles for Chinese immigrants. Discrimination means treating someone unfairly because of their race, gender, age, or religion. Alright, let's get started. What was the China Exclusion Act? It was the law that bans Chinese people from coming to the United States and from becoming citizens, which no other group had ever faced. Why was this law passed? The law was passed because many white workers were worried about Chinese immigrants taking their jobs and lowering their wages. They believed that Chinese people could not fit into American society and Chinese people were not worthy of the same rights as others. The law started 90 days after it was passed. It states that if ship captains brought Chinese workers illegally, they could be fined or jailed. And Chinese labor who were already in the United States, they could stay. But if they want to go back to the country, they had to get a special certificate to return to the country. The law also states that no Chinese person could become a United States citizen. In this picture, the man in uniform on the right suggests there is an entry checkpoint. This scene showed what many immigrants, especially Asian, might have gone through in the early 20th century. At that time, immigrants often faced harsh treatment when they tried to enter the country. As a result of this law, Chinese immigrants faced a lot of unfair treatment. They were often bullied, lost their jobs, and had to live in the separate neighborhoods. This law caused pains in the Chinese community. To understand the China Exclusion Act, we must understand the power dynamic at play. Power dynamics is about who has control, influence, or authorities over others and how that control is used. The government said the law was for national security, but it was really to keep white people in control. This is what we call white supremacy. In the articles or the historian S. Curandera, the author, Aurora Levins Morales, explained that history is often told to favor those with power, telling stories that make them look right. For example, colonizers tried to get rid of the native languages and tradition to weaken the people they ruled and stop them from fighting back. This made their rule seem normal and fair. With the China Exclusion Act, the story focused on the fears of white groups, while ignoring what Chinese immigrants and other minorities went through. This showed that history often tells the side of the powerful, while leaving out the voice of others. We should encourage ourselves to make absence visible, because the voice of Chinese Americans are often overlooked. In a book called Voice of Chinese Americans, the authors talk about how CACA, which is the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, works hard to fight for their rights and challenge the unfair China Exclusion Act. They help protest, write petitions, and make sure their voices were heard. Even though society tried to silence them, the CACA was created to stand up against laws that treated Chinese people unfairly in the United States. Their work was not just about winning legal battles, but also about making sure that Chinese voices were heard and that racial prejudice was challenged. For a long time, Chinese people and other minority groups face unfair treatment in the United States. Laws like the China Exclusion Act took away their basic rights. If Chinese words were not heard, these unfair laws would keep affecting their community in negative ways. The China Exclusion Act had a big, lasting impact. It was the first law in United States history that specifically targeted one group of people, which is the Chinese. This law not only hurts Chinese immigrants, but it also affected other Asian communities in the United States. Even though the law was repealed in 1943, the prejudice, the discrimination it created didn't just go away immediately. Now, if we look at more recent times, we can see similarities with the anti-Asian hate that surged during the COVID-19 pandemic. Just like back in the day of the Inclusion Act, Asians were blamed and treated unfairly. Morales' articles remind us how important it is to uncover and share the true stories of oppressed people because history is often told in a way that supports those in power. To close, I would like to leave you a question. How can understanding the histories of the Chinese Exclusion Act help us to advocate for more inclusive immigration policies today? That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.